another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers review. This is something people have been waiting about 3 years for. I honestly didn't realise that it's been that long since they announced this. Probably because I wasn't actually going to buy it. The only reason I did is because I saw it was coming in stock on the whole shebang. They had some available and I hadn't bought much this month, so I just thought, why not? So I did grab this. It was discounted from the whole shebang because they do give me a little discount just for shouting them out, but I would have anyway because this is where I bought it from. If you're in the UK, they are available on Comics and Cocktails. Anyone outside the UK, I do believe they're available on Pop Culture, and for those in the US, you can try somewhere like Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, something like that. I haven't checked there to see if they're in stock, but have a look over there. So here is the Mezco 112 Collective Deluxe box set. It's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We'll take a look at the front of the box. Here we've got our Rangers posed on the front, got a nice logo in the middle and a couple of logos around the sides. On the top, just another picture with our Rangers displayed. And on the back, it's telling us what we're going to get inside. So this is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe box set, showing us that we get 5 Rangers inside with an extra head, tons of hands, a stand, various weapons and accessories. There's a lot of accessories in this. It was expensive, but with what they've got in there, it probably works out, or at least for me, it worked out £74 per figure, which, considering if you're looking at Super 7 and they're sort of 55 to 60, I don't think that's too bad looking at what you get inside. And taking a look inside the box, this is what we're met with. So there is 3 trays here. We've got our Rangers and our hands on the first one. Underneath, we've got all our accessories, which obviously I will go through anyway. And lastly, we've got some stands and the bags. So taking a look at the figures outside of the packaging, we'll start with the Mighty Morphin Red one. Obviously, we'll go through all of them. But opening them up, I was quite surprised at how nice they look. I like the clasps on the side of the helmet. We don't tend to see that too much, not bulking out like that anyway. And the helmet looks in pretty good shape. Diamonds on the chest do look a bit odd. They're very curved, which they probably shouldn't have been. Here we've got our Morpher, which is obviously wrong. It is unfortunate because this obviously should be black, as you know. There's no writing around the edge like you get on Super 7, but the coin does look pretty good. The belt looks nice. We've got no huge separated bit at the back there like on the 3-0 figures, so there's no buckle underneath there or anything like that. There is some good detail in the boot, so you can see we've got some zips down the back there. Obviously they've put the black onto the boot, so it does look as realistic as they can. All in all, the figure does look really nice. Next up, we've got a Blue Ranger. So taking a look at the coin, again, you can see the same problem with the Morpher, and I should imagine this is going to be the same throughout all of the figures. But as a figure, it does look really good. I like the style of the helmet, and the shape of the helmet looks really good. Overall, I'm happy with these. Next up, we've got a Black Ranger. So another thing that I have noticed is the stitching on the sides down here. Again, this is the same for all of them, of course, but you can see the stitching quite badly in there. The suits aren't designed to come off or anything like that. It's not too noticeable on this one, but you can notice it on some of the other figures. Then we've got a Yellow Ranger. This is probably my favourite head sculpt out of this one. I reckon the helmet's probably the most accurate out of all of them. They don't look bad at all, they really don't. I think these are probably some of the better figures out of the ones that we've seen. The Morpher does annoy me, but you know, what you're gonna do. These ones do have padding on, so the females do have a little squidgy midsection, and the same on the legs there as well, so you can see they are pretty squidgy, which does affect how you're going to pose these. Does give a nice body shape to the figure. And lastly, we've got our Pink Ranger. So her helmet does actually probably look a little bit too big for her body, I'm not going to lie. It is nicely done. You can see the separation in the helmet there, so the clasp is done quite nicely. Again, she's got the padding underneath, the same as the yellow one, but her helmet just looks a little bit too big for my liking. Other than that, she does look great. Obviously, we need to complete them by putting on some accessories, so let's take a look at some of those. Okay, let's take a look at some of the accessories. Each of them come with their own sort of section of hands, so this one belongs to the Red Ranger. I'm not going to get them all out and go through them all because they are very similar. They do come with like a karate chop hand or weapon holding hand. They come equipped with closed fists on the figure. Then they all come with a set of posing hands like this. Some of them come with a few more different styles than just having these kind of flat karate hands. But they do all come with their own tray each. They also come with a holster which just hooks over the top. These are pretty easy to get on, so you can just lift the hand up, find a little gap to put it in, and then slide it round. And then it's the same for the males. They are made of rubber, so they are quite easy to get on and off. And finally, out of this box, we do get some head sculpts. So here's Kimberly's. does look pretty nice. It's very well painted, and I like the headband that they put on the top. The hair color is about right, and it's got a good likeness of the character. Then we've got Zax, which has got a very serious looking face. It does again have a very good likeness to it. Next up we've got Billy's. It unfortunately doesn't come with a pair of glasses on this one. I don't know if you could take them off of the Lightning Collection one if you really wanted to. It is a good face sculpt, but considering this is meant to be sort of Series 1 kind of time, it would have been better if they'd have given him some glasses. We've also got Trini's head sculpt, which looks pretty good. Considering she hasn't been around, most places do tend to do a good head sculpt when it comes to Trini. I think Hasbro's done a pretty good one, as well as Super7, but this one's a little bit more realistic and it does look good. Lastly, we've got Jason's. I think this resembles Austin St. John very well. Probably one of the better ones that I've seen, to be honest. Other than the Power Swap 2-pack from the Lightning Collection, I don't think really they've done such a bad head sculpt, but this is definitely one of the better ones. And they are easy to pop on and off, so we can just remove the helmet and put our unhelmeted head on. It looks pretty good. Now he's ready to relax. Okay, moving on to tray number 2. Each figure comes with their own blaster, which just slides in the holster pretty well. And it does come with a detachable blade, so rather than folding in, it just plugs into the end like that. So if you do want to have it as the blade, you can do that. If not, you can just pop it back out and turn it into the guns. You can just pull that down, push that forward, and it's ready to go. The detail on it is pretty good, but there is no Power Rangers writing on there or anything like that. I have seen better, but they're not bad at all, to be honest. If you don't want to use the blade, you can add a blast effect piece. So this is one of the large ones. You get 2 each of the blast effects. So there's your large one, the medium, and the small. The set also comes with 3 of these Thunder Slinger weapons. You can't put any blast effects in them, but they are pretty good. And it also comes with a Mega Blaster, so this is already pre-stuck together. You can't pull it apart, there's no magnets in it or anything like that. But it does come with blast effects in there as well, so if you wanted to, you can whack these in. I'm not sure on the colour order of these, so I will probably get it wrong. So I do apologise, don't shoot me. But they do just pop straight in the ends. They don't exactly stand straight, and you do have to be careful with them because they're quite thin on the end here. So I would be very careful pushing them in. I have done it once already and it does look pretty cool. After this video, I probably won't be doing it again, just in case, because as you can see, it's not exactly the straightest of things, unless I'm putting them in the wrong way round. But the fact that they've even given them is a nice little bonus to this weapon. The figure does hold it quite well. So there we go, it's got that little blast from the show. And continuing with the accessories, I know there's a lot here, guys, so I will try and be quick. But we do get 2 dragon shields, so if you wanted to try them out on different figures, you can. It's easy enough to do. And I'm going to put one on the Blue Ranger just because we don't often see it. So all you do is unplug the little bit at the back here, as you can see, and then I think it's similar to the Super7 ones, where you just kind of feed it over the arm, take the head off, and plug it back in underneath. Then pop your helmet on. Don't panic too much, it does come with armbands too, so we'll whack them on just so Billy can have some glory for a little while. And there it is. I always like the look of this. There is a cosplayer on Instagram who rocks this suit pretty well. Yeah, shield looks nice. They've done a good job of that. It's pretty much what you'd expect, but the armbands go on quite nicely and they do stay on. And it's nice that you can just pull the shield on and off pretty easy. And for all those wondering, we will put it on the Yellow Ranger just because why not? We have got 2, so we might as well. Obviously the armbands are not going to fit because they will be too big. The shield is definitely way too big. So if you wanted to do that, I'd probably grab a Lightning Collection one or something, just because they're a little bit smaller. The remastered one is adjustable for the females as well if you wanted to do that, but yeah, it's definitely too big for her. We do get some individual weapons as well. So starting with Billy's, you do get his anti-sonic foam gun, and it also comes with an effect piece, which is pretty cool. This is quite heavy, so they've been kind enough to give us a metal end, which again plugs in like that, and he holds it quite well as well, so I think they've done a good job with the foam. It looks pretty cool. It comes with 2 different versions of his lance, so we've got an extended version and a shorter version. It does come with an adapter, so you can put them together. So here's a little adapter, just plugs in the end like that, and then we've got the rest of it plugs in as well, and there's your lance. It may well plug in more than that, but I'm not going to bother forcing it in because I'm just going to take it back out. The lance also comes with 2 lightning effect pieces, so you can just plop them on the end however you like. We've also got Kimberly's bow. Does come with a working piece of string as well as some arrows. The arrows are very, very thin and flimsy, so be careful with those. I don't dislike this bow. I like the fact that they've put the coin on it, but I just think there is a little bit of laziness when it comes to the detail in there. There's no writing on it or anything like that, and considering it is not really a small item, they definitely could have added the writing onto that, so it's a little bit of a shame that they've done that. It does look nice, but it's not, it just feels incomplete to me. Then we've got Trini's daggers. The detail on that's pretty good. It is just a plain dagger, but they slide in the hands quite well. They are a little bit sharp, so I would, any of these weapons, to be honest, I would be a little bit careful on the suit. I always like posing her with these daggers where she's kind of got one going one going the other way. She's ready to fight. Of course, it comes with a power axe, so we can either have it standing like an axe, or you can slide that up and down and use it as a blaster. The coin on that one looks a little bit better than the others. It is quite obvious as to what it is. But again, nothing that we haven't seen before in other figures. And lastly, we do get Jason's sword. So again, nothing different really, but the detail on it's pretty good. And it does come with another version of it. So this is kind of like a final strike sort of version, I guess. It's just a clear red plastic. And finally, getting through all these accessories, they do come with a stand. So you can see there, she's got a little peg hole, so you can just use the hole on the bottom of the feet to stand them in. They are a little bit tight, but they're less likely to fall over, I guess. They do go in quite well. So you can either have them standing on there like that, and like I say, they don't seem like they're going to fall over or anything like that. But if we pop her off, we can take this out and replace it with an arm. I have found the easiest way to get this out is just to push that in the back. Be careful because that happens and it will roll off into oblivion. You'll never see it again. And then we just put that in there, and you can bend the arm any way you like within reason. Turn that around, we can attach our figure on there. It holds very well. They don't feel like they're going to fall over, or sometimes you get these little arms and the weight of the figure will bend it over, but it really doesn't do that. You can just pose it any way you like. It's not going to fall over or anything like that. Excuse her alien abduction pose, but this is just to show you how well it stands. And after taking a look at some accessories, let's move on to the articulation. So I'm going to start with the male body first, but starting at the top, our head does move down and up an okay amount. It's not great, but there is some movement in the neck as well. Obviously it moves full 360 and round quite nicely because it is on a ball in the neck and on the head. The arms do move out an okay amount, but mine feel very stiff. Obviously they move up and are restricted by the suit. I wouldn't want to push this too much because knowing my luck, I will break something underneath, and because I can't see, I'm a little bit reluctant to push it really far. But we've got some upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and some movement in the wrist. Has quite a nice movement on the torso, so we can get him in some good poses. Moving down to the legs, they move out an okay amount. They move up an okay amount, and again restricted by the suit as we would expect. Got double jointed knees, some swivel at the top of the boot, and our feet do move up and down and round to the side. Moving on to our female, the head moves up a little bit better on this one. I don't know if it's just the shape of the helmet or whether that joint in particular was a little bit stiff, but this one seems to move a lot better than that. Again, same in the neck, the head does move all the way around. The arms on this one do move out a lot better. It's probably just down to what luck you have on the figure. Moves up and out a nice amount. Again, double joints on the elbows and some movement on the wrist. This one doesn't seem to have much movement upstairs because there is a lot of padding in there, so it's difficult to move. It does move, it is just a little bit higher, but yeah, it's not as easy to move as the males. And again, we've got the same problem with the legs because of all the padding in there. The legs move up an okay amount, but barely move out. That one seems to move better than the other one, but maybe it's just my luck. We've got some movement at the top of the thigh, double joint on the knees, some swivel at the top of the boot, and then again the same with the feet, then moving up and down and around. So the articulation on the male and the female, they are the same, but obviously have different restrictions based on the suit for the female bodies. And finally, here we got some comparisons. So we've got Lightning Collection figures on either side. You can see these are a little bit bigger. I think the Mezco figures are a little bit better proportions. Maybe not so much as the remastered figure, but the arms on the Yellow Ranger of the Lightning Collection, this is the first release, does look very, very small. Obviously you can see quite a bit chunkier, a little bit taller, quite a bit brighter in the suits. And here he is compared to Super7 figure. So at first glance I thought they were kind of a bit closer to Super7 size, but they're really not. They are quite a bit shorter. It is a bit strange because they're a little bit bigger than the Lightning Collection, so they don't actually really scale with anything, to be honest. So they're definitely standalone figures, but this was more just to show like the comparisons in between the different sizes of figures for anybody that are wondering whether it's worth grabbing these for any part of any collection or anything like that. Lastly, for comparisons, this is the Tree New Toys version of the Green Ranger. You can see he is quite a little bit thicker, I think, than the others. You can see his waist and his crutch is quite a bit higher, so he is a little bit higher. I guess if we change the helmet over, this will kind of give it a bit more of a true comparison. But yeah, if you're thinking of grabbing these as a stand-in until you can grab the white and the green Mezco figure, then yeah, you'll probably get away with it for a little while, but they aren't quite the same sort of size figure. I don't think you'd notice when one of them's in the background, but seeing these two together, it does make me want to grab the Green Ranger Mezco figure. I've been keeping an eye on eBay, so I might be lucky one day. Wrapping up this video with my final thoughts of this set. It's a big set. We do get quite a lot of stuff with it. I think the quality of the figures are good. I like the cloth on the clothes. There could definitely be a little bit more detail, and it would have been nice if the diamonds on the suit was a little bit straighter. That's just me nitpicking stuff. It doesn't bother me, any of that stuff, I'm not gonna lie. But again, some more details, maybe something on the blaster. Definitely needed some writing on the bow. But considering the effort that they've put into the weapons and the figures, I think overall they are a good set. A lot of people have been asking me if it's worth buying. In all honesty, I think it's worth the money. If you can grab it, it's definitely better to grab it now than later, because you know that it's probably going to shoot up, especially if they don't re-release anymore. The helmets do look a little bit large, not necessarily on the blue one, but definitely on the females at least. The head sculpts are really nice, a good detail. But yes, I do think these are worth buying, and I'm glad I did, considering I wasn't actually going to invest in these. Again, another MMPR item added to my collection. And at this point, I feel like a lot of other series are missing out. I would love to see some more from In Space. I'm really hoping that 3-0 would do that. It's hard to compare these to 3-0 figures because they are so different. 3-0 have a lot less posability than these do. A lot of things fall off. I have broken a couple of Super7 figures. They don't come with a whole lot of accessories, especially for the money. You are paying pretty much for the size. So it is very difficult to say whether these are better or worse. All depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something you can pose and play around and swap some bits out, have them on display and mess around with them as much as you like, these are definitely, if you want something that's just going to stand there and look like a proper statement piece, then obviously Super7 is the way to go compared to these. But of course, this is just my opinion. Please let me know your opinion in the comments below. Is this something that you've picked up? Have you got it on pre-order, or did you cancel knowing that it was a lot of money? But either way, I'm very, very happy with these and do not regret buying these at all. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, please consider subscribing. I've got plenty more videos coming, including more Super7 reviews and a continuation of the Build a Megazord. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to my channel. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys very soon.